What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today I wanted to talk about something that's been bothering me for quite some time. Now, you all know me as a truly epic gamer, someone who not only plays video games, but takes the time to write scripts and review them and actually get down to the nitty-gritty details of everything that comprises a video game, and examine it and discuss it and talk about its quality, what's good about it, what's awesome, what's bad, that sort of thing. You all know me as the Act Man. But there's something I've come to really loathe about video games, despite how much time I spend playing them, reviewing them, and writing about them. And that's the politicization of video games. Yes, politicization. A word I don't ever want to use again on my channel, because I don't like talking about politics or anything to do with politics. I make videos for fun because I enjoy video games. I'm a normal human being. But there are non-normal people out there, specifically a lot of game journalists, who I pick on from time to time, that will write about video games in a way to elicit a response, or to send a message and drive home a point. Now, I do this too to a certain degree, but I don't bring politics into the discussion unless it's already there. You know, video games for a long time have been a sort of haven for all sorts of people. Social outcasts, people with disabilities, those who don't have many friends. Video games are a way for people of all walks of life to just come together and enjoy something and be able to play it and discuss it and just have fun and enjoy life. But in these last few years, the glory days of simpler times are starting to slip away. And what we're starting to see is the politicization of video games. Meaning that when a new game comes out, there's people who will write articles or complain and say this game needs to make a point about racial issues in the world today. And then there's people that just want to enjoy this product for what it is. It seems like the game industry, and a lot of people who work in it, and a lot of journalists, a lot of people who write about it, is being hijacked. The game industry is being hijacked by people who want to make the world a better place, by people who feel they are right in what they're talking about. It's being hijacked by people who just want to complain, bicker, and moan, and want to be right about something. And you know, this isn't the type of content I normally post on this channel, but it's just been bugging the shit out of me recently. Seeing all these dumb, stupid, Neanderthalic, bullshit articles that people take the time to write and discuss and complain about. And here I am complaining about other people complaining. But it's like, these last few years, there's been so many examples of just dumb shit that it isn't even worth covering. It's not even worth being a story. It shouldn't have even have happened.
Does the recent GTA 5 controversy prove that we need Anita Sarkeesian's feminism? Actually, yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god, I'm glad this channel died. Like, the League of Legends PAX controversy, where Riot employees wanted to close their panel, an open public panel. They wanted to close it to men for a certain period of time. Why? Why? What good does this do? Then there's the Battlefield 5 controversy, where they wanted to put women and all sorts of weird shit into their World War II video game. People complained about it, and they were like, don't like it, don't buy it. We're here doing the right thing. My child needs to be able to play as a female in World War II because I don't have the balls to explain to her that women didn't often fight in World War II. You know, it's shit like that, where game developers are on such a big fucking high horse. They're sniffing their own farts, their own beliefs, and now they're pooping it out all over the rest of us. And this self-righteous bullshit is what's really bugging the crap out of me. Because I don't think it has a place in video games. I think the only thing it really does is sow discourse amongst the greater gaming community. It tears people apart. It tries to separate us into groups. It's bullshit is what it is. I mean, even going so far back as, you know, the shit Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, and Zoe Quinn were pulling. Going so far back as Gamergate, I mean, the PBS game show channel that was just a clickbaiting, race-baiting, controversial shit channel, to be honest. And it's kind of like what I said in my Battlefield 1 video. There's people that, like, get off on not enjoying something. They get off on complaining about something that isn't really an issue. Like a black person being on the cover of a World War I video game. Is that really worth complaining about? And conversely, people who wanted more black stories from a World War I video game, it's just like, enjoy what's there. You know, there's like this growing concept that if you make a game based around war or any part of politics in the past, present, or future, there's like this growing expectation that you have to make a statement with this game. As in, the developers have to put their beliefs and agendas in the game and talk about them. And no, you don't have to do that. You know, there's a difference between a game that has politics in it and bringing politics into a game where it just doesn't belong. Was it really such a big deal for some guy on YouTube to kill a feminist in Red Dead Redemption 2? Was that really a big deal? How is that even newsworthy? How is that even worthy of writing about? How is it even worthy of me talking about it in a serious sense and not just watching it, laughing and making fun of it and understanding the game's mechanics and how complex it is and the things you can do in the game? Why on earth would anyone want to focus on the political side of this video game and this issue? That's kind of what I'm asking. You know, for a long time, video games were just a haven for people, you know? It's a community that's been bullied and beaten back and targeted and harassed and attacked by all sorts of people, by religious folk, by mainstream news. It's been attacked by people's parents. It's been attacked by the government, Hillary Clinton. It's just like, me as a gamer, at a certain point, I just want this shit to disappear. I don't want these stories to clog up my Twitter feed. I don't want this shit to be so widely discussed about when we're all here to have fun. And yeah, you know, sometimes it's fun to talk shit about a video game that's really bad, you know? Sometimes games are bad. That's fine. But when it becomes a political talking point, that's when I just kind of get sick of this shit, you know? It's like politics are lame, dude. Politics are fucking lame. Yes, they're essential for the function of society, but they're fucking lame to talk about. I hate talking about politics. Ah! Basically, what I'm saying is I don't want video games to be about politics. Because at this point, it seems like for game developers, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Witcher 3, a game based on Polish mythology and folklore, was shit on by some douchebag Tariq Musa because it didn't have black people in it. It's like, why can't you talk about the politics within Witcher 3 and not about your own politics, beliefs, and agendas and pushing that onto Witcher 3? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, why not talk about the way Witchers are portrayed in Witcher 3? How the greater realm and world of this game looks at a Witcher. How they're viewed as monsters. And what greater meaning does that have? What greater statement does that say? The fact that there's barely any black people in Witcher 3 isn't an issue. It's not worth talking about. Even this was an issue back in the old days, but you know what? People just didn't really give as much of a shit back then because of the way the world has changed and all that dumb shit. But like, remember Resident Evil 5 being set in Africa and people were freaking out because you were killing black zombies in Africa? And you remember how basically like the whole gaming community came together and was like, you're fucking stupid. The game's set in Africa. You're a fucking idiot. We can kill Spanish zombies. We can kill white zombies. But when we kill black zombies, now it's a problem?
It's in Africa. It's been in Antarctica. It's been, I think, in Spain. It's been in the Midwest. It wasn't racist then. Why should it be racist now? It's in Africa. Have fun with the game. Play the game.
It's like it's never been a problem. There's people that have been trying to make it a problem, and that's the issue. It's just kind of this growing social justice agenda that's really sinking its claws into everything. And it's the right too. It's the right and the left. But I see more of the left bullshit than the right bullshit. Honestly, I think what it is gaming has become so big, so popular, such a big industry, That these parasites just want to latch onto it and create issues where none exist because they have nothing better to do with their lives, you know? They have nothing better to do than complain about Left 4 Dead 2 being set in New Orleans and how they view that as insensitive. They have nothing better to do than complain about what one person does in a video game on Witcher 3 and how he treats an NPC. They have nothing better to do. You know, this goes beyond the whole violence in video games debate that had been going on for years and years, and, you know, in the last 5 years has pretty much disappeared with the disappearance of Jack Thompson. It kind of disappeared with him, you know? But even then, I still felt like everyone was kind of united, like, no, there's no proof that video games cause violence, there's none of this. Video games aren't a real problem for society. I guess I'm just reminiscing about simpler times when our enemies, quote-unquote enemies, were simpler and more easier to identify. It's just like politics and being on the right side, not the right, but the correct side, is just ostracizing people. I mean, 2 years ago, I made some controversial tweets about transgender people. Yes, I regret them. I mean, fuck, you can look them up if you really want to. I regret saying those things. I don't believe those same things now. My thoughts and opinions have changed, but there's still people that hate me for that. For saying some dumb shit on Twitter 2 years ago. It's like, yeah, you know, I shouldn't have said those things. I shouldn't have gotten in this discussion or debate. But the fact that tweets from 2 years ago can actually impact my career and my opportunities and how people see me and perceive me, that's fucking stupid. This politicization of video games is symptomatic of a greater issue facing the world. And that's the issue of people trying to politicize every aspect of society and our culture. I just feel like people want to sink their claws into video games and the video game industry now and push their political ideologies as another way to advance themselves, as another way to validate themselves, to find a group and find an enemy. Bitch, I'm just here to get the fucking nuke in Modern Warfare 2. I'm just trying to get a Killionaire in Halo 3, okay? I'm just trying to pilot a giant blimp in Battlefield 1. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to discuss politics, even though I am right now. And you know, I'm not saying that people shouldn't write their reviews a certain way or their articles a certain way, that we shouldn't talk about politics at all when it comes to video games. I'm not saying that. We all have freedom. We all have the right to discuss what we want to. Sometimes these articles bring up good talking points, and sometimes it's just shit for us all to make fun of, which is entertainment nonetheless. Like the idea that Link should be gay or that Link should be a female, you know? It's dumb shit like that that's entertaining and funny to just make fun of. And I don't deny that sometimes bringing politics into a discussion about video games can lead to some good talking points and discussions. However, most of the time it just seems like a bunch of shit people say to try and fuel the fires. Clickbait for the sake of clickbait. For the sake of views. For the sake of clicks on a website. I doubt most of these people even believe the things they're writing about. They're just writing about it because it's their job. Because they picked a shitty career. And now it's a mad race for clicks, you know? I think what bugs me is the way it seems like certain companies and individuals are starting to see video games as a tool for pushing an agenda, to get what they want, to advance themselves. They see their games as a way to make a statement instead of a quality product. I think it's this focus on, you know, licking your own balls and smelling your own poop and liking it that's just creating an unhealthy discourse. It creates this them versus us dynamic between gamers when gamers were always banded together against the people who were shitting on video games. That's what it was. That's what it should be. You know, there's this dynamic within game developers and the way they look at content creators, even people like me. You either stay out of it completely or you take their side, or you take the right side, the correct side. Because if not, well, you might not get invited to events because you don't think the same way that they do politically. Is this really going to inspire content creators to speak their mind, to be honest and real? Or is it going to inspire people to just fake like they believe what you believe in order to get in your good favor and go to your game releases and your private events, you know? That's how you get fake people. But if you want real people, if you want good people, then don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. And you know, it's all right if a game developer wants to tackle those issues and wants to do it in a game of their choosing. It's okay if a company as a whole wants to do that. And it's also okay for us to not want to buy it, to not be subjected to that stuff, to not pay for that shit. It's like if you were to look at Nintendo and the way they've conducted their business, since the fucking 80s, it's like they just make video games. Nintendo just makes video games that are fun and enjoyable, and they try new things, and they don't have to be political in any sort of way. The developers don't have to push some political message or attack their fans and call them racists and babies and whiners. The people at Nintendo don't get on their fucking high horse and try to jerk off onto the rest of us. They just make video games. I want game developers to just make video games. I don't go to NFL games to be protested at. I don't play video games to have an agenda forced on me. I go to football games to be entertained. I play video games to be entertained. So, in a nutshell, I just want the game industry as a whole, I want you guys as a whole to not put so much importance and emphasis on beliefs and agendas and politics and the left versus right and trying to pick these stupid battles and complaining about shit that really doesn't matter at the end of the day and nobody's gonna care about in a couple weeks. I'm tired of people bringing race, sex, diversity into the game industry and saying it's an issue. I want real issues to be solved. Yes, of course, I do. Real issues like the way Riot Games treated their female employees, that's a real issue. How much clothing video game characters wear? Not a real issue. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at with everything, folks. I just wanted to rant and vent. I feel like it's good to get it out of your system, Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to The Act Man for more awesome content. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is The Act Man signing out. Peace!